Hey there, party people! I am back with another servant tier list. We are on the assassin class now. We're gonna get right into it because for some reason I'm just extremely exhausted this entire weekend. And so I'm either going to be very rambly in this video or this video is going to be 15 minutes. I don't know which yet. We're gonna find out together. So first things first, we got Sasaki Kojiro, and I'm going to be so honest. While I do enjoy the character, he is also just very much overhyped to me. It's like, there's nothing bad with him in particular. It's just, when I see other Fate fans be just like, oh, he's so awesome, it's just like, I'm just like, yeah, he's kind of cool. Chill, though. I feel like I get that feeling for a lot of the, Stay Night characters, if I'm honest. Not all of them. I've shown that I like a few of them. But, yeah, just something. Just something. We're going to break order a bit here because we're going to talk about the Hassan, and we're going to talk about all of them at once. So, Hassan of the Cursed Arm, Hassan of the 100 Faces, Hassan of Serenity, and the first Hassan. They all get EX tier because the Hassan Isaba are my favorite assassins. Just from a conceptual level, just like what they represent and who they are as personalities, they're all so good. I especially like Cursed Arm in Fate Grand Order. Like, have you seen his Valentine's event? He is so excited to give you a gift. He's just like, he doesn't even really understand what the celebration is. He's just like, oh no, I get to give a gift to Master? Hell yeah! I love Uncle Cursed Arm. And 100 Personas is good too. They weaponize DID. That's amazing. Serenity is just adorable. I love everything about her. Just the touched, starved nature of her. I can speak. I swear to God, I can speak. She's great. And then the man. The old man of the mountain himself. The man who walked in the valley of the shadow of death and became that shadow. Which got slightly more complicated because of Fate Strange Fake, but I'm not getting that into that. I am not getting into that here. Again, I can talk. I am so tired. He's awesome. He is so cool. All of them are so cool. Speaking of Fate Strange Fake, I need Nameless Assassin to come to Fate Grand Order. I need that more than anything. Moving on. Stheno! Of course. She doesn't get the thing like Uriel does, where she has a fun relation with Starios. Stheno's just a bitch. You cannot convince me otherwise. Jing Ke, I was gonna put an A tier, but then I remember when she gets drunk, and I kind of love that. Either way, A or EX, she's a great character. You ever watch the movie Hero, which is sort of based on the story of Jing Ke? That movie lives rent-free in my head. It's been a while since I watched it, and I can't exactly remember the exact plot, but the visuals of that movie were so stunning. And it's like, it wasn't exactly Jing Ke in that movie, but at the same time it was, because the story is like the 6 paces away from murdering the Emperor. The wild movie, great character. Sanson. I have a friend that loves Sanson. I don't quite understand it. He seems kind of mid to me, just personally. Guess I haven't really had the right interactions with him. Phantom, I'm going to put him B tier, because conceptually, I like this version of the Phantom of the Opera. It's a good concept for the character. I'm not sure I always like the execution of the character, But at the same time, overall, I like the portrayal they went with. And Matahari gets A tier. A, because I have well established that being hot matters, but also, she's also a good character. Like, she is a fun character to interact with in the very rare moments you get to interact with her. But overall, she is very enjoyable. She's very down to earth. You can tell she's just kind of a person, and I enjoy that. So, if you've been on this channel for long enough, you know that I am a resident Liz lover. You know, the whole Liz laugh love. And I just cannot with this character. However, my heart does say want to burn. But as a foil to Liz, and to add to Liz's entire story, she will go up to C. Because fundamentally, I hate Carmilla. Because Carmilla is mostly just an avatar to have the writers be more mean to Liz. Beyond just making terrible dialogue options for the player to only choose to be mean to Liz sometimes. Whenever Carmilla shows up and Liz is also there, Carmilla is just an outlet for whoever the writer is to be mean to Liz. And I hate that. But from the overall story narrative, Liz basically raging against fate and destiny to not become Carmilla. Well, it's also not technically the real Carmilla, like the literary vampire character. That's just the name that she's going with. She is still Elizabeth Bathory, but is like the monstrous one that we think of when you think of real life Elizabeth Bathory. You think of this just murderer and sort of vampire. But the point is that Liz, the Lancer Dragon Girl, is fighting tooth and nail to not become this. And without Carmilla existing, that part of the story is good in concept still, but to see the solid representation of what Liz is desperately trying to avoid is cool. I hope that made any amount of sense. Jack's great. I love Jack the Ripper in Fate media. Should just always wear pants, but that's neither here nor there right now, just character-wise. I love the idea that there are multiple types of Jack the Rippers in Fate canon, and this one represents the orphans from Victorian London. All of the street urchins that were abandoned by society and the prostitutes that walked the streets became sort of a vengeful spirit, but not necessarily vengeful. They just kind of want to return home. So, thinking about this version of Jack could technically qualify as Avenger if you just shift things slightly to the left. But again, neither here nor there. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is going to D tier because it's like the most boring version of the character that I have ever seen. This man has no riz. This man is so white bread. I do not care about him. I do not care about... He feels like... Remember the days in the early 2010s when Super Hulock was a thing. This Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde feels like they could appear in Sherlock. That's the kind of vibe this representation of the character gives me. They feel like a tweeny, heartthrob, BBC original series version of the character. And you can quote me on that. So, funny story about Mysterious Heroine X is that when I tried to summon her, she's A tier, by the way, for the first time, as a catalyst, I played a music video, a Star Wars music video of the song X Gonna Give It To Ya. And I got her on the first try. Catalysts are real. And she's also just an amazing character. I love Saberverse events. Ryogi Shiki. I love Kara no Kyokai so much. Hell, I even made an entire video very early in this channel. So, it's not as good as I would want it to be now. Before the time, it was my highest edited video. I got a lot of art for it from an amazing artist. And it was about Ryogi Shiki being the protagonist of Fate Stay Night instead of Emiya, like a what-if situation. And I am still very proud of that video. And how much effort I put into it and how it came out. So, yeah, iCard. Open that video in a new tab. Let it pause. Finish this video. Go watch that one. Please. I still love that video so much. I highly want people to watch it. And I just love... That's how much I love Ryogi Shiki that I wanted to do that video. And speaking of that video, a little more is that the assassin in it is actually Emiya Assassin. Because I just did like a whole bunch of shifting things because, of course, it couldn't be Emiya Archer because Shiro wasn't there, but I wanted to have a different Emiya, and it's like I could still work in Emiya Assassin, and that's what I did. I'm not going to say exactly what role he plays and all that, but he is there, and it's awesome. But Emiya Assassin, I love this concept of the character where it is a Kiritsugu who never met Irisfield, never went into the Holy Grail War, and just became a counter guardian over time. So he gets A tier. I love that as a what-if situation. Shuten gets EX. Shuten loves me, this I know. She rearranged my guts to tell me so. Shuten's a perfect character. There's nothing I don't love about Shuten, honestly. It's just the also overall depth of the character. Because on the surface, she's just like evil Oni. Just drink your bones and emulsify your organs. But then you get like to know her more or like see scenes with her and you get like that extra glimpse of her. To show, it shows us just like, yeah, Oni and people aren't all that terribly different when you get down to the brass tacks of things. And I love that because she's also so abhorrently against that notion. Even though it is a notion that is true and is proven to be true. Like how I said how much I love Tomogozen because she was able to relate with Shuten in that moment. And Shuten let her guards down and showed a bit of her true self. That's the shit I love. Kotaro. I'm gonna give him B tier. I like him well enough. I don't vibe with him overall, but I don't have any like negative feelings towards him, so he goes on to like the positive end of the spectrum, but I don't really got a lot to say about him. Summer Skahawk goes into EX tier like Lancer Skahawk because while I normally don't like it when servants, the summer servants don't really change too much from their original self. Like I like the unrestrained summer fun vibes later summer servants give compared to the early servants like Skahawk Summer. Skahawk has such a big personality, and she is such a damn troublemaker with the whole spirit origin change that she really kickstarted, is that I feel like the Assassin Summer version can stay in EX just because of how it carries over. She is also a bit less serious than her Lancer counterpart as an assassin, but also at the same time, they very much are the same person. Like, there's no summer vibes. It's just like I can see the Lancer version doing the exact same thing, if I'm honest, and yeah. The screen didn't shift. You're lying. Danganronpa, the super high school level pharaoh, it's a tough choice. I'm gonna give her B tier. Because, well, I don't dislike her at all. I do not. It kind of goes back to the Kotaro thing, where it's like, I want to like her more than I do. But nothing in the story that I'm just like thinking over in my head really just blast into my brain where I'm just like, oh yeah, that was a great moment with her. I love that. Where I'm just like, most of it's just okay. There's nothing inherently wrong with her. There's nothing, like, super negative about her that I can think of for me personally. So she just kind of gets that middle of the road with a slight positive edge. Yangqing gets the same thing. He's a very underrated servant, I feel. And that's mostly because he's just underutilized. But he's a fun guy. He definitely is. I wish he was used more. I wish I liked him more. But again, like with the last three in this section, it's just the vibes. They don't quite match up, but there's nothing really inherently negative I can say. Wu Zetian, EX tier. I love her. And the fun part is I can't quite articulate why I love her so much. There is just something about her smug aura. It mocks me, and I love that. She's such a fun character. You can say all you want about the historical stuff. You can say all about the historical stuff with any Fate character. That's less of a factor to me, because these are fictional representations of historical and mythological beings. Any historical inaccuracies mean jack shit. I am basing it purely on how they are as a character in this media. And as a character, the bratty empress with a penchant for torture is a fantastic character to me. And like the ideas I have sometimes of my OC, Maya Hanagami, being the master of Chaldea, I just see these two as besties getting into like so many shenanigans and troubles, just great times. Assassin Nitocris, the summer version, yeah, that gets A tier. Would be EX tier. Would be EX tier, don't get me wrong, but she is one of the 2 limited 4 stars that I don't have. And it's very hard to get summer 4 stars after their banners. So I'm a bit bitter. Chiyome, aka Neki Ninja, she gets EX tier. I love her. It also kind of goes back to the Wu thing where it's just like, I can't properly articulate it. I just love her. I love her character. She's a fun character. Just Neki Ninja. She needs to show up more. She was great in Atlantis. Snakes are cute. I'm going to put Kato Danzo with her son in the B tier because... Actually, no, I'll put her into A tier because I refuse to read the labels and I will fist the robot. Osaka Behime. The more I think about Osaka Behime, the more... And I'm sorry, my dear friend who is watching this video and is probably popping a blood vessel. A worse one will be popped later. But the idea of the character being a Hikokomori, I can talk, is fine. And I adore that she speaks like such a weeb. That is my favorite part about her. But at the same time, How much do I really care about the character? I like the Archer Fortnite version more. I'll say that. I'm pretty sure she was higher on the list than Archer. But as the base character, it's just like, the ideas are fun. The execution isn't terrible. But at the end of the day, how much do I really care? And unfortunately, it's not a lot. Semiramis gets A tier. In Apocrypha, didn't really care for her. I liked her little love story with Shiro. I like that in Fate Grand Order 2. Amakusa. That part's fun. But in Fate Grand Order, she has so many little gags with her. And each time one pops up, like in the current event, the water monster crisis is currently happening, and she pops up with the little hard hat. It raises my love for her a stage each time. Because I love when she's serious and badass, boss queen kind of shit. But I also love the silly moments. The great character. Izo is getting A tier. Because he's a great character. He's a great Pomeranian. But, as an Izo lover, I have to ask, how did he get 2 costumes? Am I missing something there? And again, this is someone who, I put him in A tier. I like this character. He's a fun character. I like the Hitokiri character. But how did he get 2 full art costumes? Not even just changing up the sprite and having a static art image. He got a full portrait image for 2 costumes. What the hell? And they weren't that far between each other. Saber still doesn't have her suit. The hell? Unrestrained Summer Fun Doggo, and also I think slightly older Doggo. Ushiwakamaru gets EX tier. To be fair, normal Ushiwakamaru is an unrestrained summer fun mode at all times. So, it's really just more unrestrained summer fun on top of it. And that's not a bad thing. I love the character, and I love her having fun, being a fun puppo. Yume Ren gets an A tier. I just love the idea for this character being a kind of an elemental, I think. I forget the exact distinction she has. I think it was just an elemental, because she wasn't a true ancestor. She's some kind of long-lived, undying vampire thing. And how she infiltrated A-Team and is now a servant and also in love with giant horseman Jiang Yu. This character's all over the place and is also just fantastic. If I remember her kit, it's not great. I think it got better at some point. I don't know if that's in NA or if it's coming in NA later. Point is, but the character herself is fun. I like the character. I like Paisen. More at ya. So tired. Old Man Lee. He gets A tier. I love Punchy Grandpa. That's all I have to say about that. Punchy Grandpa for life. Kama gets EX tier because this is another character that's all over the place. It has the 3 stages. Got the damn gremlin that you can see here. The Heaven's Feel Sakura age, and then adult Sakura, who is somehow more okay for the censors than swimsuit Passion Lip. Not sure how that works, but we have there. So we got the full gambit with this character where she has great serious moments. She was an enemy. She was a beast larva for Beast 3. So we got the cool threat, we got the queen boss shit, but we also have the funny parts, which is what I was talking about with Semiramis. Kama takes it up a bit more. Still do not like her interaction with Pumbarii a bit, because Pumbarii always comes across as a bit too high and mighty for what happened to Kama. But at the same time, I do like Kama having her fun kind of Aqua moments. Gray gets A tier. Gray's just a great character. Has Rognominiad. I'm running out of steam. Charlotte Corday gets EX tier. She made me cry so many times, both in Atlantis in this form, and both as a caster during summer. Charlotte Corday is a great character. She's a lovely character. She is stacked as hell. We need more Charlotte Corday. Period. I don't care for what. I don't care where. We just need more of her. Send me art. I have a new email. Send me Charlotte Corday fan art. Just do it. Okita J Shoji is a weird character. I'm gonna give her B because on the fundamental level, I'm not sure how to feel about the jet. Like, it's a fun gag overall, but I also just don't know how to feel about it. It's an enigma to me. Kichi Hogan, A tier. I love her. I do love her, but not as much as Skahawk. Skahawk is my number one teacher. But I will say, because this is in order, but if it wasn't in order, if it was based on, like, how high up they are on their specific tier, Kichi Hogan would be at the top of A, very close to EX, if that makes sense. And then finally we have Koyanskaya of Light. I don't really care for Koyanskaya. She's kind of annoying and bitchy to me most of the time, but she helps facilitate the ultimate power that is Melusine. So she'll get A tier. Koyanskaya of Darkness may not fare as better, mostly just because I have yet to read the Tungsten, or whatever the hell that was called, event. I promise I'll do that before I get to the Special Servant, so I can give her a fair shake. And that's my assassin list. I hope any of that was palatable. I am going to go to bed now. It is currently not even 5. I have been exhausted since 10 a.m. yesterday. Nothing is helping. But what might help is you liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and leaving a nice supportive comment, and sending me that, Charlotte Corday art, or whatever. You don't actually have to do that, but I do have a new email. It's in the About section. I updated it, because I don't know if people really do anything, but I do have an email set up there, and it's a new one, because I've been using the one that was there, for too many things. So I wanted to filter out. I was like, yeah, if you want to send me an email, something, whatever, that would be the one to send it so it doesn't get lost in the shuffle. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time in the void. Later.